Hi, my name is Mark Harris. This is my wife Cheryl. We live here in 8 Mile, close between Soda Springs and Georgetown. We have 4 boys. One boy's on a mission in Maryland right now. He got a letter, we got a letter last week saying he's going back to the Congo, to Africa. We have a 17-year-old, 12-year-old, and a 6-year-old. All boys. Well, Cheryl and I met in college down at Utah State University. After we graduated, we come back here to the ranch. We lived in that little house down there for probably 6 or 7 years while we built this one. We live here on the ranch. I have 3 brothers that work here with us, and it's a family-run operation. I have 2 brothers who live in Malta, and 2 of us live here on this place. And, it's a neat place to grow up. I grew up here, lived my whole life here, and it's a neat place to raise boys, raise kids. I've always been interested in politics. I was involved with the Republican Party in Bear Lake County for quite some time, Idaho Cattle Association and Farm Bureau. And I think Farm Bureau is where I really started my interest in politics kind of went to that next level. I served on the state board, and Cheryl and I were the Young Farmer and Rancher chairman. And I just got involved or stayed involved with the local politics in the area, in the district. And when Senator Bob Geddes was picked by the governor to be, I think he went to the tax commission, there became a vacancy, and so I threw my hat in the ring, so to speak, and I was the number 3 pick out of about 8 people. And of course, Senator Tippett was the number 1 pick, and he got picked to finish Senator Geddes' term. Then he went on to run his own term. And I just waited, and it wasn't too much longer that Senator Tippett was appointed to DEQ. And so I threw my name in the ring again, and I was the number 1 pick. And that was in 2015, the summer of 2015.
I'll tell you this. So he says, "What do you think?" And I said, "Sure, go ahead." Not realizing that I just encouraged him to go on and maybe I call myself sometimes a married single mom. So life changed. So when he was appointed, our youngest was just barely a year old. And so the oldest one was 14. And we had to stick together as a family. My boys, they really stepped up. Those older boys were there to help. They would get on the tractor and plow the driveway. And there was one year that everybody in this area was flooding. And my house was flooding, his mom's house was flooding, and for about a week, I was up constantly, have a little cat nap here or there, trying to stay on top of that water. And the boys, they says, "Mom, we'll stay up, you go to bed," which was great, but they had to go to school the next morning, so obviously that didn't work. But that's the only way we can do it, is together as a family. And Mark is able, we've been blessed that he can come home on the weekends. So when there's something that we really can't do, especially when the boys were younger, he would help us. But now that the boys are older, we do quite a bit. First vehicle I ever had to pull out was when he was gone and the boys went off the road. Yeah. So we still, we've got the horses here, and I can drive the tractor if I absolutely had to, but I can't go get a bale of hay. And with the boys in school, we have to make sure we have enough small bales that I can feed them on my own when I need to. And the snow, be prepared for the snow. Make sure this year, with our oldest boy being on a mission, it'll be a little bit different because he was the one that would plow the driveway quite a bit. So that's the biggest thing, is being prepared for what nature's going to throw at you.
Well, the Idaho State Legislature it's a part-time legislature, but it's really not. We're in a session part-time for 3 months out of the year, but during the rest of the year, it's a constant. There's constant issues popping up with constituents. And constituents will call here, or they'll call Boise, and then when I'm in Boise, I'll get the message there. But there's a constant flow of issues, problems that people have, concerns with, for example, the Tax Commission or Department of Transportation, or you name it. There's always an issue there that people are wanting help with, and that's. I think that's, to me, that's an important part of my job, because that's what I'm supposed to do, is help people. That's what I'm here for. That's my job, and so I don't mind that they call. I like them to call, and if they have concerns, I can help them, and it's always good when you can help. Sometimes you can't, but you can always lead somebody in the right direction, or give them advice of what they should do, or what direction they should go. And so that's part of the job, and I enjoy it. But sometimes Cheryl gets a lot of those calls when I'm in session. And for example, if there's a controversial bill up in the legislature, my phone will ring off the hook in the legislature in Boise, but the phone here also rings off the hook, and it's up to her to answer it.
So a lot of the times, most people are pretty good when they call, and they're surprised because they think that the number they're calling is an office, and that he has a secretary, and he doesn't. And so when they find out that they've called their home, a lot of times their tune changes, and I don't know, they're pretty personable, and I just take a message, and but quite often the phone calls will be a good 30 minutes, and the kids have learned that when it's a constituent that's calling, that's where my time is for those few minutes, and I will take a message and pass it on. The only thing I really ask is that they don't call in the middle of the night like some have, and that they be polite.
The one advice I'd give to the person running is to make sure that's absolutely what you want to do, and to do it. If that's what they want to do it. Go all in. It's one of those jobs that you can't half do. You have to, like I said, go all in and do it. It's humbling. It's an honor. It's a privilege. But like I said, it's very, very humbling, and it's a great experience, I think, for myself, for the whole family, because we get around the dinner table and we talk politics and issues, and I think it makes the kids aware of what's going on around the country, around the state, the community. I think that's valuable, because they're aware.
The advice I would give to the spouse or to somebody that was running is, like Mark said, make sure you really want to do it. And it's a family decision. The kids get it, at school, even from their teachers. People approach me at the grocery store. It's a change in life. You have to make sure you are really, really able to support and want to help people. That's the biggest thing, is wanting to help people with the issues.
One thing I might add is, when you become a legislator, it's a hat that you cannot take off. Being the state senate, I can't take my hat off, and my state senator hat off, and do something. I always have that hat on, no matter what I do in the community. People look at me and say, "That's a state senator. He just made a wrong U-turn." You can't. You always have to keep that in mind, because you just can't take that hat off. And another thing I would add is Cheryl has been my greatest support. I was just thinking here, she's my proofreader. I bounce ideas off of her, and and she's just a great support. She's my best friend, and that's one thing that's crucial, I think, to anybody that wants to run, is to have the support of your spouse.
That and the kids. We've put up a lot of signs. It takes a family, to keep it going. 'Cause he doesn't have a staff. We are his staff. And the other part is when your spouse, in this case, when Mark leaves and goes to Boise, you have to make sure that you yourself can take care of the needs of the family. It all falls on me. I could call him, but he's 5 hours away. He's not right there immediate.
So my first year in Boise, I come back and the snow was almost gone, and I went, "Hey Cheryl, I missed the winter," and she gave me a black eye.
Well, that, and he would come back, and I will say, "This is our schedule. This is how we do it. The TV is not turned on after 7 o'clock till all homework is done." And the first time he did that was like, "Are you serious?" That's what you have to adapt to, what works for you and for your family.
Yeah.